You can kind of see me. So, welcome to my channel. I am I don't know if you would call a practitioner of the craft or what, but I have been on this path for ever since I was 17, but I've always felt a connection to crystals, to the moon, to you name it. And then I started another part of my craft, which was being a spirit keeper and finding out that I am a physical medium and being that to the spirits, being able to commute and help people. That's been my struggle for a very long time, as how do I go about giving a message from spirit. And I had the opportunity for a friend who lost a nephew who came to me, and I said, okay, I'll just put myself out there and see where this goes. And if she thinks I'm crazy, well then okay. So, and she knew what I was, and she knew, that I am what I am. And I was like, okay, so I have a message from your nephew. I'm going to give it as best as I can. I'm going to see what I see and whatnot. And I said, he's there with y'all. There's little things like you could put something in here and you'd turn and then it would be gone. Or you could simple little things that he's letting you know, hey, I'm here, I'm watching over you, I see everything that's going on and whatnot. So I did that, and she took it very well, and I was lucky with that, because it's a really good friendship that I have with her and whatnot. Hold on, I gotta find my thing because I'm making coffee. So let me try this. That happened, and I just, I am blessed because my deity puts people in my path that need to be in my path for a reason. And I've always said, I have two sets of family. I have my pack family that is not of my faith, and I'm really close to them too, even though we don't share the same belief systems or anything like that. And then I have my magical family, and they're the ones that have almost like the same belief system as me. And so I guess what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to explain to you who I am and, and everything. And there are times when I am not me, and then I lose that part of me, and then I go back to that part. I'd be like, I can't lose this, because this is so much a part of who I am that I gotta be my authentic self. I can't allow others to dictate who I am and change who I am, because then I would not be the person I am today. And so if I am feeling drawn to a person and I just met this wonderful, blessed lady. And we've really hit it off. Her kids go to the same school that my daughter goes to. And so after taking the kids to school, we'll come here and we'll talk and everything. So I think it was like yesterday. I just felt drawn. I had one particular crystal, and it was been on my altar for a while, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling drawn to give this crystal to her because she is going through such a hard time with losing a relationship that she really loved this person and cared for him and whatnot. And I felt like I needed the universe and my spirit guides and my beings were saying, this crystal is for this person. No, it was the day before yesterday that I gave it to her. And I said, Merry late Christmas. I feel like this is for you. And I want you to have this crystal. And she put it I guess it was by her heart in her bra. And she said yesterday that automatically she felt when it was there like she was calm and she was, and then once she took it off and she had a shower and everything, she said that feeling, those feelings that she was feeling before I gave her that crystal was coming over her, and she was feeling anxiety and everything. And she automatically was like, where's my crystal? Where's my crystal? And I was like, you were feeling the energy of that crystal and what it was doing for you. And I said, that's why I gave you that crystal, because it is for that specific purpose and whatnot. And it was a beautiful crystal. It was an orange citrine. And I felt like she needed that more than I did. So, enough with that. Today we were talking about, finding ourselves again after being in a relationship that's toxic and whatnot. And being your true self. And the way I put that is being your authentic self. The person that you are meant to be, that you're supposed to be. Coming back home to yourself where you're happy and you're content and you're living the true life that you're supposed to be living. We just really had a very in-depth conversation of things, and I had downloaded Pinterest last night and I just started scrolling on the Wiccan inspirational stuff, and I found this one, and it basically said that you have to look within to find that peace. It cannot come from without. It has to come, it's within you. That shine is within you. And it's like, I was just guided to, and I just automatically just stopped to that one particular area. And I was like, and I read it to her, and I was like, wow. I said, this is so true. I was like, and this is exactly what we've been talking about. So, let's do that coffee. This is going to be my second cup of coffee. We sat in her vehicle at my apartment complex ever since we got back, which was like at 7:58. It's 11 now, so that's 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. About 4 hours of just talking. And she's just an awesome lady. And I have there's not many people that I connect with like that. And once I connect with them like that, instantly, I know that we are meant to be at who, not who, but we are meant to be friends. And those are the bonds and the friendships that last, to me, a lifetime. Because I don't connect like that with very many people. And so when that happens, I know this is meant to be. We are meant to be friends. The universe and my deities and whatever else is at play is bringing us together, because we are going through the same struggle of being a single parent, having kids, and starting all over again. So, and we just talk. And it's those kind of friendships that I really cherish, because we can just tell, we can be real. We don't have to put on a facade. We don't have to do anything, or anything like that. It's like, we're real. So, getting on to a different subject. What you're probably going to see here is basically my life, and the craft part, and the word just slipped my mind. Mundane aspect. My work, my life in general. You'll probably see little videos of my daughter, because she likes to do videos too. And now that I have an actual phone that has signal, she's going to want to do that. But I just wanted to come on here and explain who I am. This is me. This is what you see is what you get. I'm not really big into makeup. I have a little makeup. And, like, if I'm going to go out or something like that, then I'll put on just a little bit of makeup and whatnot. But yeah, it's like, my life as a single mom is crazy. But I wouldn't change it for the world. So, it's just crazy nuts. Like, my house right now is a mess, and I gotta get it cleaned and everything. So, I'm just going to, you're going to probably hear the water running, you're probably going to see me smoke a cigarette, you're probably going to, and I'll be talking off and on throughout the whole thing, but I really got to get this house clean before I go to work tonight, which is supposed to be at 5. But I'll probably call and say, okay, what time do you want you to come in? Just to be on the safe side, because they love to change that. And I'm like, it was at 5 this time, and now you say 3. And I'm like, okay. Make up my mind for me, people. That Miss Kitsy. So, I work at Brahms. It's no glamorous job. And it has its perks and it has its downfalls. And one of the downfalls is they like to change your schedule and not tell you about it. Because you're supposed to have this app that works and everything. But when you get a new phone and you can't remember any of your passwords for that stupid app and whatnot, yeah, you're not going to find it. So, and I might do a spell here and there, and the lighting sucks. Sorry about that. Not a spell, but a card reading or something like a card for the day. You'll see those. I'll help if I open it and take the tab off. So, crazy, crazy, crazy. You know, and I posted on Facebook about how I was contemplating looking for a different job because the one that's just not working out. And my best friend, Sandy, commented, and she goes, just give it time, we're short-staffed. And I'm thinking, okay, the only one that's freaking short-staffed here is the night crew. I said, y'all are like fully staffed, the morning and the mid-shift. Us night crew people, we don't, most of the time, we are short-staffed like crazy. And it is like the days that we do need that extra help, we don't have. And the days that we don't need that extra help, we have that extra help. And so it's like, give or take. You know, like Tuesday night was defrost night. And we had, let's see here, there was me, there was Destiny, Christina, I would say maybe 4 people. 4 people on a defrost night. And there was supposed to be 5, but our GM decided he wasn't going to show up on defrost night. And it's like we have that effect when it comes to defrost night on people. They don't want to show up, or they can't show up, or anything like that. And I'm like, come on, people. But when you are a GM, and it is your night to work that night, then show up for your crew. Show up. Because let me tell you something. First impressions are always the most important. And us night crew people that need the help the most, and you're not going to show up, or we get into a big huge rush and you're like, are y'all going to be okay? Okay, well then you're going to go. When you see you have your people have a big line of people, what does that say to us? I mean, it's like, come on, let's be on the up and up here. Because we went from having a GM that was there when we needed, when it was her time, even if it wasn't her time, she would make sure that we was okay. And she would show up. And she would work the shifts that she wasn't even supposed to work, just to make sure the night crew was good. And now we got this new one, and he's like non-existent whatsoever. And he's belittling, and he don't even know the people that he is belittling. He don't know their background. He don't know them. And it's like, And I hear these stories from my friend Christina, who is also, expo, and she's like, he's telling me that I'm afraid of the grill. And I'm hearing this, and I'm like, girl, he don't even know you. He don't know what background you have to make that judgment on you. I said, you worked at Vicky's. You was waiting on people. You was sitting people. You were back there in the grill and the behind the scenes, getting everything ready and whatnot. I said, you're not afraid of the freaking grill. But yeah, it's that way. And I don't like this manager for that simple fact of being judgmental. You're not there to be judgmental. You're there to be there for your crew. Because you have no right, considering the fact that this is your first time being a GM. And you're just learning shit. You're just learning it. And you want to cast judgment on somebody? No, that's not what you're here for. And I mean, there's just a lot that's just been stressing me out. And I'm sorry if I am on a venting or a ranting, but this is just a part of my life. So, I'm sorry if you hear Paw Patrol's on, but that's what my daughter watches, and I got that part for her for Christmas because I had the extra money the first, and I just like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and order her some stuff, go to Walmart and get her some stuff, and that's what I did. I got her Paw Patrols, and then an order from Amazon, a movie, and one other thing, and I mean, it wasn't anything big, but it was something that she wanted, so let me take you with me, because I'm going to sit down for a bit. There we go. Oh, and I love planners. Like, I have 3. And I just write stuff in them, like the movies or the shows that I'm watching. I'll turn more this way. There we go. And stuff like that. So, yeah. And stickers and it's hard for me to go past the planner aisle at Walmart and go, oh, look, there's stickers. And forget that when if I have the extra money. But, yeah, that's what's going on. So, I'm here living my life. Color Father's Day, Mother's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Father's Day. I don't think I have anything that I want to put in here. Christmas has already passed. I don't have anything for January. January. There you go. I'll put that on there. Oh, I see this one is done, then it stops at January, at December. A different one. So, let me put this aside. And I love to read. I have so many books. But I'm very picky on the books that I read. So, this is me, and this is my life. And I am, like I said, I've been on this path since I was 17. I very first started out not really reading into it. The first book I got was on past life regression, and my hair looks awful because it's actually clean out and it's all out there, along with this part that my daughter decided to cut. So, I mean, we really talked in depth about everything. And it's funny because we started out talking about how, I asked her because she came from a line of Hispanic. And I was like, so did you grow up with the stories of La Llorona? And she said, how they would tell the story of La Llorona as, maybe a scare tactic. Oh, La Llorona is going to get you, da-da-da-da, if you don't go to sleep. And I said, coming from listening to the stories that were told to you growing up, La Llorona almost seems like the boogeyman in the Spanish context of it. And she's like, oh no, that's Cuya or something like that. I can't pronounce the name right. And I was like, I've heard of that being, and I think where I heard it was on Grimm. And I think that's, it's weird how they pertain to, they has the universe, this realm that we live in is so vast. And the stories of are like, of these beings are like the same, but they have different names for them. And I find that fascinating because it's like, it just confirms what I've always felt. Like, we're all connected and whatnot. I still can't do my... So it's like, okay, this is like, it's the same boogeyman stories that growing up, that we heard growing up, was just a different name to him. And that's like how we started our friendship. I just had that connection with her, and I ended up just... She's an awesome lady. I mean, she's taking care of 4 kids on her own. All 4 of them have ADHD. And anybody that knows anything about that disorder and handling kids with this disorder, it is tiring, it is taxing, it's draining, and you got to deal with it in a different way than you would with a child that doesn't have this disorder. And so it's like, and my hats just go off to her, because whether she believes it or not, she is such an awesome lady. She is so strong. I mean, I can barely handle my daughter, and that's 1 child. Nonetheless, 4 kids with the same disorder. And I'm like, why don't you not see how strong you are? It's like, if you can handle by yourself 4 kids that have this disorder, you can move mountains just like that. But you got to believe in yourself. And yeah, she's just, I love her to pieces. I really, really do. What did you do, puppy dog? I have my puppy here. He's such a sweetheart. Oh, he's a sweetheart. Mama's protector. Protected me of the wrong people, but don't get in trash. And then I have my cat. And let me tell you, we lost our little shadow. Well, she wasn't so little, but I think it was during October. And I was like, and it was the same day of inspection, and I was like, I was beside myself. My daughter was upset. I was upset. And then these people come in and, oh, you're home. And I'm like, Mom, don't even go there with me. Don't even. It's like, and then you're living in a 2-bedroom apartment, but it's like super duper small. And your daughter has toys everywhere. And your freaking vacuum cleaner just freaking goes out and needs a new belt, and you don't have money for a belt because you're spending all your money either on rent and electric. And then your landlord's like, well, why can't you get this in your name? And I'm like, because I'm spending everything I have on a babysitter, on rent, and on electric. I do not have the extra money. I only owe $107, and I think I'm going to do that On the 11th, I want to pay that off and be done with it. And be like, okay, it's in my freaking name. Sorry it took so long, but everything was just haywire. So, it's taxing and it's draining, and I'm just constantly in stress. And I think that's why I really have not gotten back into my craft, because I've not been in the mind frame. I don't want, if I pick up my cards, I don't want to have to be like trying to figure things out. And my emotions come off on my cards, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. But I really need to get back into that, because that's like part of me, and I have to find that balance again between my spiritual and my mundane, because I think that's where I'm feeling like I'm having to sacrifice one for the other, and it shouldn't have to be that way. I am always so exhausted after freaking work, and it's like, and I do most of my stuff during the night, and I'm like, I can't focus. I need to get back into my craft. And it's just been so tiring. And then I've been wanting to get back into doing unboxing, and I know that that's another thing I have to do, is get a key for my Dropbox, because I know I have a subscription box there that I need to get, along with other things like my ID. But I don't have any time to do it. So, and I get it. I really do. That, I understand that we are short-staffed. I live with it every day I go to work. I live with it. I'm thinking, oh my freaking God, we're going to be so short-staffed. I'm going to be doing 2 jobs, and I won't be able to do my lobby like I need to do. And I'm to that point in my job where I hate it. I hate it, because it's like, here we go again. Our crew freaking struggles. Everyone wants to be in the morning crew. And I'm like, I can't do this. I really, really, really can't do this. And, I was like, I need to be where I don't have to worry about if I get food for my break that's coming out of my pocket. It's coming out of my check. And maybe to my friend Cindy, when she was doing that, that was a godsend. But to me, it's not. Because I'm only getting $300 to $400. And feeling unvalued is like the worst feeling ever when you're working. And she's like, well, because Morgana's been sick, and it's hard to find a babysitter, and blah, blah, blah. And she's all these excuses, and I'm like, do not bring my daughter in this. Don't bring somebody else in this. I said, this was way before I was freaking fighting to get better hours and whatnot and become full-time and have the benefits for the longest freaking time, for almost a freaking year, and I got pushed aside. I said, this has been going on longer than you think. I said, how much longer do I have to wait? She's like, well, if you do get a different job, you might not be full-time. Okay, well, I was full-time at Allsup's. Freaking Cricket said that they're looking for people and it will be full-time. And you will still get your 2 days off. It would be a pay cut, yes, but it would be full-time nonetheless. I said, I get, yes, my daughter has been to the clinic. She has not felt well. I mean, that's not my fault. You think I like leaving my crew even shorter staffed? No. But it is what it is. As my friend Carrie would say, it is what it is. So, it's like cut down to the chase. You know. What was the excuse before? I didn't miss any time then. So, oh, my hair. All these curls. And this itty bitty brush that my sister-in-law gave my daughter, and I'm using it. That part right there just wants to stick out because it's freaking trying to grow back. So I'm on the fence of debating if to see what happened at work or just to put in my 2 weeks notice and say, look, I waited for months, see the difference and see, that's another thing. She says, well, come to the morning crew. I said, you know what, I asked about the morning crew. I told her, I said, this is the time that I need, you know, from the time that I take my daughter to work, to school, I can walk straight there and be at work during the morning. But that didn't happen. I said, I really, really want to be code 70. I think I have what it takes to actually be management. And I mean, because there was an incident at work where this one guy, and he always comes in, and most of the time he has the money that he needs for what he wants. But there was this one time he didn't, and he took grapes out of a grape bag and put it in his mouth, and he didn't pay for it. And it was me that my manager came to me and she goes, will you come with me to confront this guy? I'm like, let's do it. So I confronted him, and it was, it was me that spoke up. I was like, look, picked up the bag and I said, you need to pay for this because you took from this bag and you put grapes in your mouth. And he was like, no, I didn't do this. Like, my manager's right here and she saw you do it. And I said, and there's videos everywhere. I said, it won't take but a second to go through footage of and find that you did do this. I said, so it's better if you can confess right now. He's like, oh, well, I just took one and just a taste. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's one or many. You still stole from us. I said, this is not acceptable. I said, you got to pay for this. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You still stole. I took the initiative. And I did what I did. But yet, they don't see me as taking that step into that management role and doing that. And I'm floored. I'm like, no. It's so aggravating because I love the people that I work for, but I hate my job. I feel being a package person and being the only package person there is, they're taking me for granted. And I'm like, I don't accept that. Don't take me for granted because you think I can't find me another job. I can find me another job. I was making $300 to $400 at freaking Allsups, getting paid every week, having full time, and just, I'm just, no. And I had insurance. I had the benefits of being a full-time. And I was valued as an employee. I was valued as an employee. And I didn't have this headache that I have now of struggling and whatnot. I didn't have to worry about anything coming out of my check. I was able to pay rent. I was able to pay my bills. I was able, and knowing that I was going to get a check that next week. And I had insurance. Even when I worked at the Texas Rose, I was valued. And my managers appreciated me. And it's like, this is like mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And I'm like, I have never worked in a place where I was so not appreciated, where I literally felt like quitting. And I said, and this is what this job is doing to me. And I'm like, no. I said, this has nothing to do with my daughter or a babysitter or anything like that. This just came about. I said, what about the times before? What about those times? I mean, I never missed work. And I was always there. And now it's just me being the package person, nobody else. And I'm like, what is going on? You're having me do all this other shit. But you're not appreciating what I do. What? Why should I stay? I just... Hey, kitty. It's me, Lily Bug. She knows I'm upset. She feels it. Yes, you do. You're my good kitty. So... Mama don't know. I like having the income. I like working. But not where I'm constantly stressed. And I'm so exhausted at the end of the night. Because we're so understaffed at night. And it's like... We're forgotten, and the other shifts are not, and they're getting fully staffed, but we're not. And then they look at our numbers and they're like, why are your numbers this way? Well, when you have only a few people, a handful of people at that, how do you expect them to do that? I mean, and then you have a GM that doesn't come when he's scheduled to be there and leaves his staff even shorter-handed. Like today, I am supposed to be there at 5 o'clock. And I'm like... And I'm dreading it. I just know that it's going to be the same thing. I'm tired, I'm weary, and there's a big part of me that I'm discontent. That's the word, I'm discontent with my job. And so I'm disconnecting myself with that. Because I am so... Just to say of what I have to have I only have one day off just to get ahead. And it's like... It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this way. I mean, the night crew is the ones that, we struggle the most because that's when it really gets busy. Really gets busy. And we're losing people left and right, and people are wondering why. When you have a district manager who does not value the work you do, that person's going to go looking for another job that's going to be better paid. They're going to be valued at what they're worth. I mean, because it's like ever since... JD, which was our cook, and I mean, he was an awesome cook, and once he left, and I understand why he left. Do I think he could have done it at a different time? Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That right there. Yeah, I feel like he should have done it uh, after maybe the Christmas break, um, because he left the day of our Christmas break, and that's when we were freaking slammed to the rim with people, and we didn't have a cook. And our other manager didn't really know much about the grill, and they just put her on there, and they're like, here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bless her heart. And that was Destiny. And let me tell you something. Destiny has been a fucking trooper to the T. And I told her, I said, look, once you get past the anxiety of having a bus or anything like that come in, and you get the hang of that, that's going to be your place. You're not going to want anything else, because you're not dealing with people. And you don't, and that's your ultimate place right there. I said, yes, it's going to be hot and everything, but let me tell you something. You get past that part and you rock at it, they're not going to be able to take you off of that grill. Because you don't she's like me, I get to the point, and I have gotten to the point in my thing where I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people. And as the hours grow closer to close, I'm like, okay, people go away. Go away. Because my job is, at the end of the night, I have to mop. But I can't mop if people are chit-chatting at 11 o'clock at night, and we're supposed to be done with everything at 11:30. So I'm like, and we've just lost 2 other people in the night shift. And I'm like, how much more? How many more people are we going to lose before people fucking wake up? And that's if they do wake up. How much more is it going to take to get it through people's heads that you cannot devalue somebody and not appreciate them for the work that they do till you do not have a night crew? I'm surprised Christina is still there. There's been times where she's just literally felt like walking. And the shit okay, move your little butt. She goes through with putting up with people that think that they're management or above her because they've been there the longest. Putting up with a DM that does not appreciate her and devalues her. Putting up with a GM that does the same. Let me tell you, if that had happened to me and there was name calling, I would have been like, look, I don't have to take this shit from you, because this is not in my job description. It's to take the name calling and the devaluing and everything else. There is going to be another place that will appreciate me, that won't do the name calling or anything like that. That will value me for who I am and what I put out there. Yeah, it's like, and I've worked, like I said, I've worked at Texas Rose, and that is a freaking high-end restaurant in Pampa, Texas. And not once have I, with my managers, have I felt like the way I do now. My managers have always said, well, we'll miss you. And they valued what I did. This one is like, it's a total opposite. And my best friend was like, oh, it's the best place to work at, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can move up, you can move up. I've been there almost a year and I have not moved up. And it's like, okay, I'm stuck at this position when I can be doing fountain and making more. But y'all don't want to train me, and y'all want me to stay as is, and I'm not an as is person. I want to move up. If there is an opportunity to move up, then I want to move up. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this job. I don't even know if I'm going to stay. Like I said, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about everything. And my home life shows it. At the end of the night, I should be able to clean and whatnot. And I'm like, I come home and I'm so drained and I have no energy to do anything. And my house is suffering because of it. So, I don't know. I want to believe that they're going to hold true to their word. I do. I feel like I can't deal with it anymore. And there are times I come home and I just want to cry. Because I am so loyal to my crew. And I am not a quitter, but this job is like testing me to my limits of everything else. And I'm like, I can't do it. But I am going to get off here because it's been about an hour and some odd minutes. And I hope y'all have a good day. Blessings. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.